Hello everybody, and today we are going to be doing a Q&A. Now I know it's not mapping, but this is a Q&A for my 1000 subscriber special, and basically I sent out a community post asking for questions, and basically the community post was asking for the Q, and I am giving you the A. If you guys do enjoy today's video, then please consider liking and subscribing. We are on the road to 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, let's give some A's to these Qs. Now, first question from CalCube. If I had to make another YouTube channel about anything besides mapping, what would it be? Now, if I had to make a channel and it strictly could not be a mapping channel, then I would probably make it a gaming channel. When I was 5 years old, I actually did a lot of gaming stuff, and I made a gaming video. Of course, it is now deleted since I posted it and it got no views, but that is in the archives and I'm never going to show you guys that. But yeah, CalCube, I hope that answered your question. Next, we got a question from Kareem, and now he is going to say, what is my favorite food and do I watch movies? Well, I'm going to answer the latter of which, yes, I do watch movies, mainly animated movies. But he is also asking what my favorite food is, and my answer is probably the most normie answer I could have given, but it is pizza. And yeah, I hope I answered your question. Next, from Geography Dude, what is my top 5 favorite Adis Pro Wixo countries, past or present? Now, my favorite country in Wixo, actually I'm going to pull up the map just for a little bit of easier reference. Alright, here is the Wixo map. My favorite country is the West Africans. They're just, I don't know, I don't know really like why I like them, but I just like the West Africans. They are my overall favorite Wixo country ever. Number 2 is Red Mesopotamia. Number 3 is China. Number 4 is Seafoam Green Siberia. And number 5 is Wixo America. But yeah, those were my top 5 favorite Wixo countries, past and present. I hope that did answer your question, Geography Dude. But now, Northern Mapper Official. What is my favorite Northern Irish county? My favorite Northern District of Ireland is Tyrone, because that is the first thing that came up when I searched the answer to your question. But yep, hope that did answer your question. And next, what is my favorite genre of music from Just a Duck? And he also said, if I could visit a Wixo country in the world, what would it be? Starting with my favorite genre of music, I don't regularly listen to music, so I can't really answer that. But if I did have to answer it, I would probably say something upbeat, maybe like, I don't know. And next, if I could visit a Wixo country, what would it be? Probably either the red or blue teams, just because like the history, I've always wanted to envision like the cities and the capitals and all this stuff like that. So I hope that did answer your question. Next, Goofy Goober, what is my favorite game? Well, I don't really have a solidaro favorite game because most of the time I'm not on a computer if I'm not making videos. But if I did have to answer that, it would probably be a Nintendo game. And I hope that did answer your question. But next we have a question over here from Red Team Wixo. He is asking if I will ever collaborate with any other YouTube Wixo people, and if I'll ever make another mapping series. I'm going to answer your second question first, and that is yes, I am going to be starting a new series relatively soon. It's not going to have any involving with Wixo, it is probably going to be alternate future. But number 1, if I ever going to do a collaboration. Right now, the plan is a little bit vague. I am planning to do a little something with a Norwegian, but I digress from talking about it further, so now we can move on to the next question, and I hope that did answer your question, Red Team Wixo. But next we have Loy Shiki, is that how you say her name? He is asking if I will ever make my own mapping thing that has never been done, or ever play Doodle Empires. Now I'm always trying to do mapping stuff that has never been done. Following a status quo has never really been my way of making content. So yes, I am actively always trying to do that. And number 2, will I ever play any mapping related games? Yeah, I'll probably play like AOH or Doodle Empires or something like that. Kind of straying away from Paint.net. But Loy Shiki, I hope that did answer your question. But now we're going to be going down to Subokumarman. I hope I said that correctly. And he has, looks like 5 questions or 6 questions. First one, where am I from? I am born in New York City. Number 2, what is my real name? It is August. Number 3, my age. I have stated this before. I am 13. Number 4, any girlfriends? I think you can answer that. And if you didn't infer, the answer is no. And finally, my favorite game, I stated this earlier, I don't really have a solidaro favorite game, but if I had to answer, it would probably be something Nintendo related, but I hope that did answer your question. But next we have a question from Jakubek. And that is, does building up your army in viewer Wixo actually matter? Yes, it does matter. I am tallying them up and I'm working on a top 10 ranking. It is just a little difficult because I am going out east for the Hamptons for Thanksgiving break, and it's also a lot of like high school stuff, so this little stuff, it's a lot of intricate stuff. I might not be able to do it, but for the time being, yes, I am trying to do that, and I hope that did answer your question. Next, Bobby Zong, has Jude been well fed? Yes, I feed him. I hope that did answer your question, but now going to Big Bacon Mapper. And that is, who is my favorite YouTuber to watch? Now, I'm assuming that he is asking something like generally any of my favorite YouTubers. And my favorite YouTuber, if it wasn't AdaZPro, probably would be some other mapping YouTuber. But yeah, if it is mapping stuff included, then AdaZPro is my favorite YouTuber to watch. I hope that did answer your question, but now going down here to A and the COD. What inspired me to become a mapping channel? Well, this is actually like a whole story that I can unpack right now, and I'm gonna do that. Basically, back in 5th grade, we had a little bit of a presentation inside of our technology class, and I don't know why I disliked this comment. That's kind of mean. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry, Melissa Barkia. But going back to the thing I was talking about earlier, in 5th grade, we had a technology presentation where we just presented some games. And there was this group that presented this game called Cetera. Cetera is basically a country name and like mapping game. Basically, it's like country memorization. And then I was like, yeah, cool. So I memorized all the countries and the capitals and the states and the municipalities and all the stuff like that. And then I ran into my first ever mapping video I ever watched. And the first ever mapping video I ever watched was by AdaZPro, and it was What If Finland Formed an Empire? And then after a couple years of watching AdaZPro, I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And then I asked ChatGPT, what does this guy use to make his videos, and like how does he do it, what softwares, and now I'm here. So I hope that did answer your question. And now going down to Melissa Barkia. And what is my favorite Pokemon and or game franchise? Now, once again, don't really have many favorite games, so it's probably something Nintendo related, and I actually do have a Pokemon collection from a couple years back, and my favorite Pokemon, probably Pikachu. So, Melissa, I hope that did answer your question. Now going down here to Just a Duck, and I think I answered some of his questions earlier, but his question is, do I have any pets? Yes, I do have a dog, and his name is Dexter. I hope that did answer your question, but now going down here to Godzilla Bro, and it is, what is my overall goal on YouTube, like a subscriber count or content-wise? Now, if you look at this is my old channel. It has 18.5 thousand subscribers. And basically, that channel was made about 3 years ago, and I made it with memes. Basically, it was a whole bunch of random stuff that was really weird to upload, and then people at school started to mention it, and I felt very embarrassed, but eventually it skyrocketed, getting over 18,000 subscribers, but then I was faced with a bit of a dilemma. Like kind of related to the previous question, what inspired me to become a mapping channel, I, ChatGPT'd, like, how do I make AdaZPro videos, and it told me, and I started uploading that to a channel built off memes, and the algorithm really didn't like that. So after a couple of months, I announced that I was making a new channel, which is this one, and I want to beat my old channel in subscribers, proving that innovation can prove what works. But Godzilla Bro, I hope that did answer your question, and now we're gonna go down here to Dafa Basic, and he's asking, if I was a US president, what would I do? Well, first of all, I would probably not be soup, because I am 13 and I know nothing about US international politics, at least in depth. So if I did answer this question, it would probably not correspond with what I would actually do, and it would probably offend a whole bunch of people, so I am a little scared to answer this question. But I would probably cut my relations with the alphabet, henceforth Google, henceforth YouTube, because that would be the extraction of data, which the AI age verification is doing. So cutting ties with the administration and alphabet would probably prohibit the presidency getting your information, so I hope that did answer your question, Dafa Basic. But now going down to Christian Piecorn, and it's asking, how are you? I'm good, thank you for asking. But now going down to Y Zendi Benda, and he is asking, do I have any siblings, and what place/country would I want to go in the future? Well, as a lot of you know, I have a twin brother, his name is Jude, and I also have an older sister, but I don't have any consent to, publicly state her name. So I'm just telling you guys that I do have an older sister. And a place I want to go in the future is South Korea. I do Taekwondo, and they do offer trips to South Korea to immerse yourself inside of the culture, and it's definitely like an experience. So that is somewhere where I do want to go. And I hope that did answer your question, but now we're going to be going down here to Russia over Fullback Empire. And it is, have I played Dead Rails? I do not know what that is. Now going down here to GeoMapper, and it is, what are my plans for the future? Well, currently I'm kind of answering that question over the last couple of months. I have to practice for the IC test and get into a good high school, so that's probably my main thing that I'm trying to do, get into a good high school. But I hope that did answer your question. But now we have one from Persindia, and they're asking if I'm not going to be answering that. But moving on, this is going to go to American Wixo USA, and it's going to be, what is my favorite flavor of yogurt? Strawberry. Like strawberry banana. I don't know. Now going down here to 4PTXT, if I could be another YouTuber, a random one, who would I be? Probably a YouTuber that can learn from his mistakes and build off of it to become better. But yeah, we're starting to get to the end of our questions. Now going down here to Tankinner, why have I stopped posting on my old YouTube channel? It's been over a month. Once again, if I make the content that I want to make and post it on that channel, it's not going to perform well. And if I do post the content that I don't want to make, then it wouldn't be coinciding with what you want to watch, which I presume is mapping. And I hope that did answer your question. But now we have one from Dark Aqua Dude, and it says play Age of History 3. Sure, yeah, I'll do that in the future. But next we have one from Wan He, and it is what am I looking forward to on my channel? Building a stable community that can definitely support me in all of my endeavors and through my hard times. But I hope that did answer your question. And now going down here to Geodude. And it's what's my opinion on Wixo Rome and your Wixo and AdisPro's Wixo. Well, in my Wixo right now, Rome is a pretty disunited place. There's North and South Rome. And they are a sort of kind of monarchy in my series. And monarchy isn't the best ideology. But in AdisPro's Wixo, I presume that if I answer anything about AdisPro's Wixo Rome, then I am going to get flamed in the comments, so I am presuming myself as neutral. And now we have the final question, and it is what is my greatest upset in AdisPro's Wixo that isn't something obvious? My greatest upset of Wixo is probably that it's coming to a close. Now, I know you said to not make it obvious, but I think that is genuinely what I am sad about. I'm not upset about it, all good things must come to an end. But if you're talking about like certain events, then I would probably refer to the fall and full annexation of Rome. But yeah, that is all of the questions answered, and I hope I did answer all of your questions. But this is coming out a couple days in the future, and this was released 17 hours ago. But yeah, I hope your question did get answered, and if it did get answered, then be sure to react to my answer in the comments below. But if you did enjoy today's video, then please consider liking and subscribing. We're aiming for 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year, and your support means absolutely everything. But if you did enjoy today's scenario, then you could also go down in the Discord server, ring that notification bell to be uploaded anytime I post. And yeah, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.